Not fast enough, but it is. Okay, let's go this way. That's good papayas, right? Yeah. You eat the green? Yeah. Most people don't eat green papaya. Do you see a jujube? Green ones are good. The jujubes are about out now. Which part do you eat?
Naranjilla. En Colombia, lulo.
Lulu? Lulu. Do you eat the leaves or the
Yeah, I know.
blossoms or the fruit? The leaves?
It's a
This is very, very nutritious. Narangila, you see the sign? She calls it, what do you call it? Lulu. Lulu? Yeah. This is extremely nutritious. It's got little blossoms on it with fruit, but it's one of those crazy plants you walk right by and say, oh, that's a pretty leaf. No, that's going to sustain life. Isn't that crazy? We'll show you some more around.
You can use the bamboo.
Sorry, you've got to move along. That's all right. You know what I mean? Okay. These guys are stuck on that plant. I don't blame them. These plants are amazing.
See the bamboo, how they use the bamboo.
Yeah. This area is called tropical lowlands. We just walked past. This is tropical highlands behind me. In the tropical lowlands, people have trouble with dealing with too much water, right? You can imagine it rains and your plants are going to get waterlogged. When we say waterlogged, we mean that the roots are not getting any oxygen. Because the roots, the bugs, the bacteria around the roots have to have oxygen to turn the nutrients into something the plants can use. So they have their own problems. But then when you move into a mountain area, you have other problems, right? If you're living on a mountain, what happens when you put seeds in the ground, the rain comes, it just gets washed away, right? If I put plants in the ground, it'll get washed away. So what ECHO does is teach people to make plateaus. Anybody seen in Peru, Machu Picchu, how they lived long time ago? That's the way they lived. They made everything flat, and that's what we teach. We'll put a vetiver grass or Napier grass like this in front to hold the soil back, and this roots will go down 2 feet in the ground, for example, and hold back all this soil. And then we'll put a berm up here with hedgerows, and that will hold back the soil. Now the question is, and it always bothered me, because I'm just like you guys when I started here years ago, well, why are people living on a mountain if it's so hard to live? Why don't you go live over there? Well, you hear that term in the video called conflict, a sanitized term called conflict. It means stealing. It means if I'm living over here on this beautiful land, my grandfather had it, my father had it, and I'm living on beautiful land, and along comes 5 guys down the road with machetes and they say, get off my land. And I say, no, this is my land. I have a choice, right? I can leave or I can become fertilizer, right? I choose not to be fertilizer. So I leave that beautiful land and I go over here and they say, get out of here. You're my neighbor. You can't farm here. This is my land. Get out of here. So the only thing I can do is move into some poor land, which is typically a mountainous area. Not many people want to live on a mountain. So my group of people, and it might be 12, 20 people, right, from my little small-scale farm, move into a mountain, and that's why ECHO has to help people. Now we have to help people live in a mountain. They're not used to it. So ECHO now shows them. On this side, if I had a lot of friends and I knew where some big rocks were, I would build a wall which would hold back my soil. So instead of plants, I can use rocks. And then different layers of plants, and at the very top you see papaya over on the right, you see bananas, and then a fruit tree up here looks like that's a mango tree for sure, bananas. So as the fruit drops and the leaves drop to the ground, they're going to rot and become fertilizer. So when it rains, all that good fertilized water is going to run down on my plants, right? So this is a very good method for planting on mountains. Remember the word conflict. It hasn't gone away, has it? Those 5 guys that moved in over there see me over here carrying vegetables to the store. What's going to happen? they're coming over here, right? It is constant. It is constant. That is why, one of the big reasons for the 10 million starvation, because people are constantly getting kicked off of land. So moving forward, if I was, you say, well, if you're smart, you're going to find 6 guys with machetes or 10 guys. So we get together and get machetes, and we're over here protected. And after a while, we look over there and say, you know, there's only 5 of them and there's 10 of us. What's going to happen? We're crossing the street and chasing them off, right? And it goes back and forth. That's what ECHO is involved with constantly. And we're dealing with the kids of that situation because the grandparents won't make the trip. A couple of the parents will get killed. So we're working with young people that didn't even know much about farming in the first place. So I'm trying to explain ECHO's customer, the customer of our process, okay? It's pretty complicated. I'm putting it in very simplistic terms, but I'm trying to lay out some of the reasons for the starvation and poverty system. Let's move around the corner. There's so many beautiful plants here, and you guys are in a dry season. This is the winter time. If you came back in the spring, summer, fall, you'd see a lot different fruits and vegetables around here. It's just a different place. Because of COVID, my wife and I stayed here this summer instead of going back to Illinois, and we gave tours starting in July 1st all around. And I had people from all over the country here. We had 20, 30 people 3 times a day on tours. And everything was coming in, especially, do we have Southern California people here with us? That was the other tour. We had 4 people here from Southern California that just moved here. Southern California is one of the few parts of the country that's like South Florida. When you go south of the subtropical zone, so they moved, they looked all over the country for another place. They liked this tropical weather, and this is the only other place. So we're getting a lot of people from Orange County, South La Jolla, moving here. Oh, Morton, yeah, we know some of Morton, don't we? Isn't
Yeah, Brent's from Morton.
Brent's from Morton? Yeah, we have another brother-in-law.
Peoria area, yeah.
Yeah, we're from that resort town on the Mississippi near St. Louis,
East St. Louis.
called East St. Louis.
Morton has the Caterpillar plant, or had.
Had.
Well, the plant's still there. The executives moved up to Chicago.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So we want to talk to you on this side about the dry areas that people get kicked off. Remember, some people got sent to the mountains. Some people go to Seminary. This is a very dry climate. This is like Southwest Florida.